Hi folks, in this video we are going to be doing a cheeky unboxing of the Super Mutant Hammer set from Modiphius for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. So without any further ado, let's cue the music. First of all, I want to just bring some attention to the packaging. Like with all the Wasteland Warfare boxes, they are surprisingly compact, but the box is really nice. It's a really nice glossy cardboard, really clear print. Nice to see a one-to-one scale of the miniature on the back. Nice descriptions and a really nice artwork on the front of the box of the painted miniatures. Really do love the scenic background that they have. You see this in the rulebook a lot. They've got some really nice terrain for this game system. So, now I've bought this kit quite recently, but it is one of the older runs of the model. So this does mean that it comes with a few accessories as well as the models. So as you can see, it comes with a gameplay scenario, and this is a nice 3x3 deployment and game size, so it's nice. Well, actually, it looks an awful lot like Sunshine Tidings Co-op from Fallout 4. But there's just a nice little scenario here, a few of the victory conditions, nice bit of photography from the rulebook, and yeah, just a bit to get you started. These, I believe, are also available as free downloads from Modiphius' website. Not just so those that bought newer production runs don't lose out on the scenarios as well. They just stop putting them in the boxes. Also have a Ziploc bag full of cards. Now I really like that they've put this in a Ziploc bag. Other manufacturers need to take notes from this, looking at Games Workshop, that any accessories and card and stuff are really nice in a Ziploc bag because they're nice and easy to store and put away and keep things together. You look at the new Kill Team box from Games Workshop and they've got all these tokens and they pop out a card and there is nothing to put them in, so having a nice Ziploc bag for the stuff is a nice touch. So let's get this out. So a few different types of cards in here. So we have a different array of weapons in here. So we've got the Super Sledge, the Hound Bite, Lead Pipe, Missile Launcher, and so these will be for the Super Mutant Hammer and the profile for the Mutant Hammer that comes with him. And these will have all of the dice and what the damage and output and things like that, and everything you need to roll while playing the game. I will go through the rules. There's many videos out there, but these will allow you to play with other models with these as well. So it's a nice for them. Really nice artwork as well. There's a few bits of gear as well. The heavy gauntlets, Super Mutants only. Chain dog collar, because dog meat doesn't need to be any more overpowered. And then there's some junk, some circuitry, some modifications to weapons. These are a few of the boost cards: accurate attack, critical conversion, and light-footed. And yeah, there's another boost card over here, and I don't think so. Okay, so there's a leader and a part card in here for those that are playing narrative and with points. So there's the wrestler perk. That's a leader card. And then the heavy gunner perk. That's pretty devastating for a Super Mutant with Missile Launcher. And then you have a nice little mission card. Things to mix up your gameplay. These are double-sided, and these are really nice cardstock. They're glossy, but I would recommend getting some clear plastic sleeves or for binders in a vault to put these in, as they will, if you play with these a lot, they will start to tear at the edges. There's another mission there, the treasure hunt, and a food hunt mission card there as well. Okay, so what we have here are some AI cards. So these cards are for when you're playing the game in single player mode. You can utilize and allow the models to feel more random. Rather than pulling from a deck of cards, there's a rolling mechanic. And it's nice that if you don't have anyone to play with, this game has a really nice single player mechanic. Then lastly, we have the character cards for the models themselves. So first up, looking at the Mutant Hound themed. I believe this is a different profile card to the Mutant Hound that comes in the starter set. And I believe it's different to the one that's in the sort of starting force of the Super Mutants as well. And then we have the card for Hammer himself, the Scourge of West Everett's estate. He looks like a bit of a monster. Yeah, really nice cards. Right, let's get these cleared up and let's have a look at the minis. So, the bit that everybody's waiting for. Let's have a look at the miniatures. Now, like most of the Modiphius miniatures, if not all of them, they come in a Ziploc bag. I really like it that they come in a Ziploc bag because resin models come on casting gates, and every now and then pieces in transit can break off these casting gates, and the plastic bag just allows for things that if they do happen to break, it keeps them together. So if you lose an arm or a weapon, you know that it's in the bag. It's always worth giving things a once over, making sure it's all there, but the bag does help prevent some losses, which is really nice. And it gives you, it's always worth hanging on to bags. If you've got tokens or cards, you've got somewhere else to put it. Never underestimate the usefulness of a plastic baggie. See, I seem to have lost a missile launcher off that sprue. So, let's start by looking at the Super Mutant Hound. Now this is a very nice cast. It's very clean, there's not much sign of mold residue on this. It feels a lot nicer than some of the Wave 1 stuff that I've had in the past. This is an adorable little rolling tongue. Despite their physical appearance, there is something almost charming about the Super Mutant Hound design. It's almost like mutated Rottweiler. That's probably with the dog tail. There's very little flash, everything seems very nice. There's not too much shine. It feels very dry and not very greasy to the touch, which is a really nice sign. But yeah, we don't mind a little bit of warpage like this. Anything that is, the casting gate's fine to get warped. We're mainly looking to see if there's any warpage or air bubbles in the model itself. And there might be a little couple bits underneath here. We'll fill in with a little bit of filler or green stuff. There's a bit of a seam line on his belly, but it's really nice that that's on the underside, because when it's looking like this on the table, that's nice and easy to hide. So it's nice that the cleanup that's required is on the underside of the model. Looks like a very simple kit to put together, and there's some lovely detailing on the base. It's not the most detailed I've seen from Modiphius, but having some rocky ground is never to be sniffed at, and it's nice that you don't have to go away and sculpt these yourselves. Everything for this game comes with a sculpted base, which is a really nice touch. Okay, so let's start looking at this missile launcher. So there's lots of lovely detail on his arm there with his wraparound braces and gauntlets, or not quite sure what they have on their arms, but some form of sort of improvised armour. Some nice detailing on the exhaust. Then there's a nice little divot in the end of the missile launcher. You could drill that out further if you want, but if you ran a bit of wash in there when you're painting it, that'd be perfectly acceptable. Nice. Oh look, pre-drilled barreled. If only another big company would do that, looking at you, Games Workshop. But yeah, seems like a really nice cast. No mold slippage or anything like that. There's a slight seam line underneath the bottom here, but that's nice and easy to fix. That's just part of the casting process. And this is the bit, the casting gate, so we need to cut this off. So, looking at his base, there seems to be some form of fallen lamppost here. Well, but this lamppost might have never got put up. Here's his hammer from West Everett's estate, after all. The housing development in the Boston Commonwealth that never got completed before the bombs fell. Nice bit of detail there to keep some base interest. Looks like he's got a sledgehammer. I believe in game he carried a super sledge. Let's just have a quick look at this. So, yeah, really nice detail on his wrist guard. And there's actually, I don't know how well you can see, but there is grain detail in the wooden shaft of the sledgehammer. And it's a really nicely cast sledgehammer. It's a really nice design. Looks identical to the Fallout 4 cast and design, which you're kind of expecting when you're buying a Fallout 4 named character, but where'd you go wrong with the sledgehammer? And then lastly, let's have a look at the mutant himself. There is some really nice detail on his face there. I believe those eyeballs are actually sculpted. Don't know how well you can see that. Some really nice detail on van braces, chest plate, some nice texture. Again, just like the Mutant Hound, it doesn't feel very greasy. There's not a lot of release agent on this. I would recommend washing these models as they are resin, but these feel like they've had proper time to cool down in the mold before being pulled out, so you didn't need quite so much release agent, which is really nice. Lots of chunky detailing on his rear armour. I'm never sure what this is supposed to be. I mean, I've looked at pictures on the wiki and models in game, but for the life of me I can't work out what this is actually supposed to be. These are just random bits of metal plating, but this bit on his back, the drum, and this bit, never quite sure what that's supposed to be. But the casting is very nice. I believe that he has this arm is going to sit out backwards like this, and then his missile launcher is more underslung hip firing. He's a super mutant. Why need accuracy when he can make loud noises? So overall, I think this is a really nice set. You get your 2 resin cast figures, both to a very high standard, a little scenario, and a whole bunch of cards, which I've put back in the box. So, do I recommend picking this up? Well, for a UK price of £20 retail, it may be considered steep for 2 miniatures, but these are finely detailed resin cast, and these are better quality, and I'd say are better value than a character model you'd get from companies like Games Workshop. So, as these are a named character and they're a sort of a hero unit for a super mutant force, then you're only ever going to pick up the one set. The bigger boxes come with better value, but I still think that if you like super mutants or you like painting up characters from the Fallout series, then I definitely recommend this set and worth picking up. You may even find some discount at your local friendly game store or at a place like Element Games or Wasteland Games. So, until the next one, I will see you next time, folks.